Good morning. Welcome back to Beginner for B Series. This is Dave here. Today's video actually is about a challenge that's been going around in our YouTube tractor community about the 5 most liked, best implements or tractor improvements or things about your tractor that you like. I was challenged by Luke from Orange is My New Green. Luke's got a BX 2380 that he does all kinds of work with. His latest videos is about doing a retaining wall, and he's become quite the master at moving rocks around with that tractor. It's great videos. Definitely, if you haven't been to his channel, check it out. He does a great job. I love following him. And it's not just always about tractors either. He's always doing stuff. He's got family times with his grandchildren and a couple of nice recipes out there. So keep up the good work, Luke. I believe we all enjoy watching you. Yeah, I've got a B2650, which I believe they made through maybe 2020. I got mine in 2019, may even have been 2021. Then they came out with the LX model, which is basically this same tractor, but they wanted to define this style of tractor out of the B series. But this was I believe the first tractor that they had the smallest size that you could go with a factory cab. So I did have a BX 2370, was a great tractor. I bought it mainly for doing snow removal. And after a couple seasons of taking snow in the face, I decided I needed a cab. So I wanted to go with a factory cab, and here we go. So yeah, let's just start off with the 5 things that I like most and of the implements that I have. So number 5, this QH10 by Land Pride, 3-point quick hitch. I actually only had one rear implement up to just recently, and it was this RB0560 from Land Pride. So I didn't really have a need. This had the upgraded 3-point system, so you could, I forget exactly what they call it, but I think it's telescoping 3 points. So it made it easier to hook things up anyhow. However, this is super simple. You can almost actually open the window and reach back and unhook implements. So I just recently got a Woodland Mills WC68 wood chipper. So now I do have a need to take different items off the back. The other thing I like about this is, I don't know, about a year ago, this had twice, maybe from overusing it, had broken the welds, and had the dealer fix it one time, and then another time it broke, and I took it to my work where we do some fabrication, and had the guys really do a good job on it, and I haven't had a problem since. But I also added this QH10, and it seems to actually hold the rear blade here so that it doesn't put any torque. You know, if you're going into a pile or something, it seems to be more square set up than the arms. That could be just me, but that just seems to be what I feel has happened. And this thing has just been great to especially since adding the wood chipper. So that's number 5. Number 4, we'll segue right in. This is a big part of my snow cleanup, and just recently we've been doing some landscaping around the house where I had to get some level areas. This is a 5-foot model, probably the smallest you want to put on a tractor like this. And people have said, hey, you know, this is a light duty, it's really not meant for your tractor, but I don't need to do anything real heavy with it. Granted, I do push into some pretty frozen piles of snow once in a while with this, but it's held up. This actually came with my BX when I had it. This is what I chose to have to help with my snow cleanup on the BX as well. And what I like about it is small. Yes, it's small, which also allows me to get into areas, mainly again with snow, that I couldn't get into with a bigger blade. So I have contemplated getting a bigger blade, a more heavy duty blade, but I think until this thing really fails me, this is gonna be it. Number 3, the grapple. This is kind of like summertime number 1. You'll hear me say, I think I've said in other videos, this is my number 1. It really depends on the season. But yeah, this is definitely one of the best tools that I've had for this tractor. Definitely one of the best implements. Just recently, I've been clearing out some saplings, and I couldn't imagine how many sapling piles I get and how they add up. And just to throw those in a pile, grab it with this, and drag them, you know, a couple hundred yards away. What a difference. Just completely awesome. I've done rock picking with this. I've scraped into the ground with this, with the root portion. And what I really like about this model, this is not a wicked grapple, which I know is the big thing in the community and one of the best grapples. This is probably heavier, not constructed with as good a steel, I don't know, but this is the SGC 0660 by Lampride, and what I like about it is it has the dual cylinders. So I'll actually grab onto something that may be a little bit awkward. I always try to put everything towards the middle so I can grab and keep my loader arms nice and balanced and straight. But if there is something I'm grabbing that's a little uneven, these cylinders will actually close onto things a little bit independently. Granted, this is all one piece, but I can see one side pull in tighter if that's the case, if it's a smaller portion than the other. So it really does grab onto things nice, and you don't really lose the pile as opposed to ones that may have a one cylinder. Number 2, the front end snowblower. This is really the whole reason why I got the tractor to begin with. We had a fairly awkward, long, L-shaped driveway at our former house, and it was slightly sloped for drainage, and I would struggle with the walk behind just because it would want to follow the slope and not the actual driveway. So this is the Kubota B2782B. I believe this one is a 55-inch commercial front snowblower, and it throws snow like crazy. It really does. 40, 50 feet easily. So where my old driveway, I had a hard time getting the snow completely off on the first throw. I'd sometimes have to throw it, then dive back into what I threw. With this thing, completely gone. You could put it in your neighbor's yard if you want to. But this is the primary reason why I got the tractor to begin with. And having that out in front of you, not having to turn around and seeing everything that's going on, hands down, my favorite implement. And again, just the most functionality for me. So on to number 1. It's the cab. It's the Super B cab. I believe it is the exact same setup as what you would see on today's LX models, the 2610, the 3310, I believe it is, and then these newer models they just came out with. What I love about this cab, you can see there's such good visibility out of this. It's basically all glass, and it's a good tempered, pretty thick glass. So in the winter, you'll see us guys that have tractor cabs will kind of be out when it's about 10 below wind chill and we're complaining about how hot it is in there. It really is. I mean, you have to adjust that down after you've been running it for a while. This keeps me nice and warm, dry. It is just by far my favorite part, attachment, however you want to call it, of the tractor. It's got a radio in there, Bluetooth. It's going to be 90 degrees today, 95-ish with heat indices, I guess. I do have a little bit of work to do. That AC will be going, and just the same thing. That AC just pumps out. You know, it's not a very big area in there, so it doesn't take much to cool, but this thing keeps me nice and dry and nice and cool and nice and warm in the winter. Love the way it's set up. These are not LEDs. I think they're like maybe a high halogen of some sort, but nice and bright. I never have a problem lighting up what's around me. I love these mirrors here. They are huge. They allow us operators to see almost everything around us. It's got a defroster, windshield wipers, nice and high hazard lights, and this back window also pops open quite a ways. We can actually do that. So when we do get into the fall weather and spring weather, you can open that right up. And like I was saying earlier, if you can reach down, you can kind of get up without getting out of the tractor, reach down and pop off your 3-point implements on the back. Very, very nice. The other thing that's nice, when I've been doing these outdoor projects recently, it is now horsefly, deerfly season. And for some reason, they still know you're in there. I don't know if they see you. I don't know how that all works. They smell you out in the cab. I wouldn't think that's possible, so they must see you out. These things will be pegging all over the place trying to get to me. Not in that cab, baby. So that is my top 5. Let me grab my little notepad here. Okay, so calling out a few other people. Here's a gentleman that I just absolutely love watching. Ryan Lynch. I don't think he actually owns a tractor, but he builds them all. Puts the implements together. Fantastic channel to watch. I believe he's in Rhode Island, works for a Kubota dealership. And what a channel to let him share in on his work and what he does, and to see how he puts things together. And he's very active in this community. Really fun to watch. He does some whiskey tasting. If you haven't seen that, you've got to check out his channel. Very informative and very amusing. But you know, there's a guy that I would love to see what his top 5 tractors, implements, the benefits of a tractor, there's a guy that puts them together. I'd love to see what he has to say. So Ryan, I don't even know if you follow me, but I know you've responded to some of my questions. So if somebody else has an insight with Ryan and you want to share that I've challenged him, thank you. The next person, Mitch from MJA Doing Stuff. Mitch has a B2601. Mitch has got a fabulous channel. He is very talented fabricator. He has built some things. I'm not going to spoil it. He has fabricated some of his own attachments and implements. I would love to see what's his favorite. So Mitch, I'd be honored if you would accept this challenge and share with the rest of us in the tractor community what your top 5 are. And then another guy that I don't think is too far away from me, I want to say he's in upstate New York. His name is Dave, and that's Dave at Mountaintop Living. He's got an LX 2610, so the version of my tractor, just the newer model, and the way they rebranded it. He did do a video just recently about his favorite part of his tractor, and I won't spoil that if you want to check it out. But let's expand upon that, Dave, and let's see what your top 5 are about the tractor or implements that you use. So this was a lot of fun. I've had fun watching these videos, and if anybody I've challenged has already been challenged, sorry, I did try to look to see if you guys did do a video on this yet, and I hadn't seen any. So there's so many good channels out there and so many people I want to hear from, so I'm just loving watching these. Thank you guys. That's my top 5. I appreciate everybody sticking around, and we'll see you on the next one. And let's see, maybe there'll be another challenge out there. Love it. Thank you. Take care, everybody.